Start of the weekend here on Sky Sports. It's Old Trafford, Manchester United against Arsenal. Match commentators Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Well, the 20-year-old Austrian Alex Manninger, unbeatable so far in the Premiership, as a splendid stand-in for David Seaman. 4 wins and a draw for Arsenal in his league career, and not a single goal has yet gone past him in the Premiership. And the youth in the opposing camp, epitomised by John Curtis, a former England schoolboy captain, a graduate of the FA school, always seemingly destined for the top. It's his second start in the league for his club. So 5 Premiership visits here have produced 1 point and not a solitary goal for Arsenal. But they prefer to dwell on the fact that they've not conceded a goal in the last 5 they've played in the league. It's been, at times, more than a match when Manchester United have met Arsenal. Feelings have run high in the past, as if summing up maybe a more general rivalry between the north and the south of the country. So Arsenal to kick off. They're unbeaten for 3 months now in the Premiership. During that time, United have lost 4 times at Coventry, Southampton and Sheffield Wednesday, and here to Leicester. But so often they produce the big performance on the big day, and they don't come much larger at this stage of the season than contests such as this. Beckham getting above Winterburn and getting the ball to feet as well.
Interesting to see, sorry, what kind of start we get to the game. There's a healthy respect, I'm sure, out there from both players about the teams. And I just wonder if Alex Ferguson has sent United out to start quickly, try and put Arsenal under pressure early on in the match, or whether they're just going to sit and be cagey, have a look at each other for 5 or 10 minutes.
Well, Arsene Wenger's had the odd spat with Alex Ferguson, but he's been paying real compliments to Manchester United over the past couple of days. But he'll not want his team to show too much respect here. Arsenal will feel they're coming here in strong shape psychologically. Manchester United have been having the more uncertain results. Curtis. Gary Neville showing his versatility again. He had a spell in midfield at West Ham in the second half on Wednesday. Beckham. And Manninger, who has a great deal of natural confidence to go with real raw talent. There's a lot of goalkeeping technique, I'm sure, still to be learnt by one so young.
It's not the kind of cross David Beckham wanted. He obviously wanted to give his front men a chance, but I didn't think it was such a bad thing early on in this game. Just throw one and test a young lad, test his nerve. He handled it quite well.
Yes, Arsenal have been praising United's remarkable achievements over the past 5 years, setting the standards Arsene Wenger admits that others have to aspire to. Whether Arsenal can reach those standards and maybe surpass them will become much clearer over the next 90 minutes or so. Vieira, only as far as Johnson. It's being played in Arsenal territory to this point. And this is Philip Neville. Gets it back from Sheringham. He's cut it back. And there was a huge gap which Petit eventually filled for Arsenal.
What a ball, Martin. Clever ball, good play. Near post was covered.
First chance to see a real stretch forward from Arsenal. Ray Parlour can't get in any sort of cross.
A lovely football from United just a moment earlier. You watch here, it's just the fact that Cole, Scholes and Beckham all go in looking for the cross. They pretty much got the near post area covered. 3 yellow shirts stopping that ball. And just a bit of Ronnie Johnson, just a little bit deep. But I think that's going to be the key. I think Johnson's going to play the holding role there. It looks like Scholes is going to be given licence early on after that goal in midweek to get forward and help the front two.
Here's Sheringham, who scored the 2 United goals in defeat at Highbury in November. Arsenal, you might recall, went 2-0 up. Sheringham pulled it back to 2-2, and then David Platt won it fairly late in the day. Nigel Winterburn, who's about to take this free kick, who settled the fixture here last season with an own goal. Petit. Passed on by Bergkamp to Ray. Now Overmars, who's not been able to train since the match at Wimbledon, where he jarred an ankle. Cross from Winterburn. Arsenal had 3 in the box then. Sheringham. Oh, Cole ahead of him, but not wide of him.
I don't usually see Terry Sheringham give it away as cheaply as that.
Beckham. Sheringham looks for Cole again. Stretching leg belonged to Tony Adams. Scholes. Sheringham looking left, finding Neville. He's got Dennis Irwin going outside him. Phil Neville goes for the cross. Winterburn calls to Adams, presumably for the captain to let it drop.
Yeah, you bet he did. Good defending all round that. A lot of players wouldn't have called. Thought, well, I'll let you deal with it, but Nigel Winterburn experienced enough to know he had time to deal with it. The left side's been a good outlet for Manchester United in the opening 5 minutes. Ray Powell has just been sucked in at times, and they've been able to feed the ball to Neville and get Dennis Irwin coming high up the pitch.
Bergkamp. Here is Irwin. Johnson. Stabbed rather nervously by Beckham, perhaps. Here's David Beckham again. Cole pulling away to the far post, and it was not too far off being a killer pass from Beckham. There was nothing nervous about the attempted pass then. Full of perception.
Good tracking as well. Look at Keown though. Talked about his pace. He's certainly quick enough to deal with Andy Cole, and all he's doing here is just covering Cole's run. Really teasing ball in from the right from David Beckham. And I wouldn't think that Arsene Wenger will be pleased to see Beckham, what I think 3 or 4 times in the opening 5 or 6 minutes of this match, getting the ball in good areas where he can have a little look and pick a pass out.
Well, Andy Cole left Arsenal 6 years ago this month, and it's interesting to reflect that Martin Keown also had to leave Arsenal really to develop his career. In the shot there because of the development back in the late 80s of Tony Adams. Keown came back, and he's really playing now like a man who one would expect to go to the World Cup finals in Glenn Hoddle's 22.
Well, we're on the sub, so I posed the question mark right at the beginning. Would it be a cagey start? But certainly Manchester United are bolted from the traps. They're on the front foot. Pressing the ball high up the pitch when they lose it.
Sheringham. Pierre and Petit really have got a key job in the boiler room, if you like, for Arsenal. Centre of midfield. Here is Petit. Berg is being told by Henning Berg to play it back to Schmeichel. His kick only drops for Parler. Overmars. Coming in came Gary Neville, and it fell kindly for Manchester United. Ball flew to Sheringham, whose touch was short. Scholes. Beckham trying to nick it on to where he thought Cole might be. Adams And Dixon, who you feel could play a match like this in their sleep, really, but maybe that's an indication of the tension in the Arsenal ranks.
It's a little nervy start.
Sheringham. Oh, a complete miss-hit. In the end, giving Cole just something to chase, but Manninger, who was setting himself initially for a shot far more substantial, was still quick enough to get off his line to get to the ball. Gary Neville and Henning Berg, just before kickoff, were having a chat. They haven't played too many games together as central defenders. That's their brief today. Nicely fed by Ray to Parler, took it on the move. Gary Neville comes out, it runs off the Arsenal midfield man.
Well, Dennis Bergkamp not happy. I think he felt that Ray Parler might just have been able to slip the ball to him. It's a lovely little break from Arsenal.
Scholes. Aaron's going in strongly on Andy Kohler. A bit of room for Overmars just to turn and assess the situation. Hughes, the Manchester-born Lee Dixon. Vieira. Bergkamp. Neville made the challenge, and Berg made the clearance. Dixon. Hooray! It was nicely seen by Lee Dixon. Both sides are appealing, and Alan Wilkie says corner.
Good defending from Gary Neville. He just got caught a little bit. Vieira joined the attack and got himself forward, and that meant that the two centre-backs got caught in between. But Neville quickly left Vieira for a cross, covered Ray. Good tackle.
Adams is jogged up right in front of Peter Schmeichel there. Keown by the near post. Petit taking the corner. Comes off Beckham, back for Bergkamp. Dixon, the free man. Looking for Parler. Looking for him too is Henning Berg.
Thought he might toss one in, Martin. Lee Dixon, even from there. The corner hadn't been taken. They had Tony Adams, they had Martin Keown in good advanced positions. A pretty good start from the home side, dominating the action areas at the moment.
Vieira. Well seen by Gary Neville again. Sheringham, so good at finding space in that particular part of the pitch. And Scholes likewise, but he lets it run for Cole. Back for Scholes. Philip Neville was waiting on the left-hand side. And now Bergkamp trying to give Overmars a chance to use his pace. Gary Neville has begun impressively here.
Well, Howard Wilkinson touched on it at the start. He said he thought Alex had picked a back four to play against pace and quality. I think that was a little example of that pace Neville has at central defender.
But one other factor, I think he wanted Ronnie Johnson in midfield as well, without Butt and without Keane. And of course, Johnson has all that pace as well, and has used it very effectively, playing at the back. Man of the match at Chelsea, the one win in the 5 away games that Manchester United came up with. Although that to 0-0 in Monaco will be seen as a similar sort of plus. The return, of course, here on Wednesday. Of interest to a number of the Arsenal players, ex-Monaco men like Christopher Ray and Manu Petit, and of course Arsene Wenger himself, who made his name as coach of Monaco. Scholes. Berg. Gary Neville again. Overmars. Bergkamp. Trying to get it back for Overmars' run. Schmeichel's decided to come, and Overmars is past him. Can he put the ball in the goal? Oh, well, that wasn't an easy thing to do.
What an effort. what football. I mean, Peter Schmeichel will say, well, I got my bit right, because he just forces Overmars a touch wide here. But what a great attempt. Not easy, agonisingly close. Well, that's super football. That must have been what worried Alex Ferguson, was Bergkamp picking it up in that kind of area and just saying to Overmars, on you go. He could easily have gone down, stayed on his feet, thought he had a chance to score. It's close, but not close enough.
Arsene Wenger in no position for nearly situations as Arsenal chase Manchester United, not just in this game but in the whole context of the Championship. But Mark Overmars so close to becoming the first Arsenal player to score here at Old Trafford since the start of the Premiership. Scholes, Johnson, Beckham just reached it. Sheringham looking for the run of Scholes. Arsenal, who are keeping pretty tight reins on Vieira and Petit and allowing, well, Ray and Overmars and Bergkamp to maybe work it out themselves up front.
They've almost gone 4-3-3 at times, Mark, when they lose it. I thought Overmars would get back in form of 4. He's actually been given licence to kind of hold his position.
Cole. Scholes. Sheringham. Didn't get enough elevation in the cross, headed behind by Adams. So 15 minutes played. Corner for Manchester United, entrusted to David Beckham. Berg makes the first run, just over him, cleared by Vieira. Comes back Beckham's way. Such a terrific crosser of the ball too.
It was a pretty confident take, that, for a young man.
Parlour. Forward by Winterburn again. The weapon that Arsenal are looking to sharpen even more here. The pace of Mark Overmars.
This is where they're going to 3, Mark. You see about Parlour tucking in almost as a central midfield player. Well, they're saying to Manchester United, well, if you're going to get the ball in good areas and space, it's going to have to be wide. But you ain't going to just fiddle it through and find little balls through the middle of us, through the centre of us, and make it as difficult as possible for you to do that.
Bergkamp, Ray and Overmars working hard to make sure that Manchester United don't settle on the ball at the back and feed it in unattended. Parlour. Dixon, who played the last time Arsenal won here, that rather notorious match in October 1990, and as Limpar got the only goal of the game. And that episode which saw 21 players, a whole lot minus David Seaman, who stood off the typical calm, involved in an unseemly set-to. Points were deducted from both clubs, you might recall. Didn't stop Arsenal winning the Championship. Sheringham.
I mean, that's been talked about, that game, and that everyone was talking about how fiercely competitive this might be today. We've had 17 minutes. I don't remember the referee blowing his whistle too much. I think we've had about 2 free kicks if we have. And that's quite incredible. You thought they would have been rattling tackles out against each other. They've really been competitive. There's hardly been a stoppage in the game.
Irwin. This is Philip Neville trying to get a better angle for the cross. The delivery again into Manninger's territory. David Seaman very close, incidentally, to full fitness after that finger injury sustained mid-January at Coventry. Actually, the last team to score against Arsenal in the Premiership. Dixon. Neville tracking Christopher Ray, and then doing more than that, getting to the ball. And Christopher Ray, who opened his Arsenal account at Selhurst Park, vital goal against Wimbledon on Wednesday. He might have got it against Manchester United back in November, came on as a substitute and missed a couple of real opportunities late on. Overmars, challenge for Curtis here. Beckham trying to help, but Curtis didn't need that. Vieira. Vieira again. Petit has got forward this time, and he's fed it to Mark Overmars. Bergkamp in the centre. Christopher Ray getting there as well. Overmars, in the end, not too sure of what he was trying to do, and it's been given away rather tamely by Arsenal to Scholes. And Dixon sticking out a foot to good effect to stop Andy Cole slipping the ball wide to Teddy Sheringham.
He was looking for Sheringham to kill a ball, but he was really going to just leave Teddy isolated. It would have taken an awful lot for players to get in contact with him. But it's settled now. I think after that quick start from Manchester United, they've both settled down, job in hand now. And I think they knew it was going to be tough, both managers, both sets of players. Now is going to be a battle right to the end.
It's cat and mouse again, of a football chess, if you like. Keown and Sheringham have had some duels in the past. Nicely taken down by Adams. Parler again, well infield. Scholes gets it forward to Sheringham, able to turn. Cole. Kept away though by Tony Adams, and Petit picking out Bergkamp. Lovely first touch from the Dutchman. Petit, the shot actually hit his teammate Mark Overmars. I know Petit still looking for his first goal in Arsenal's colours.
I think it's at times like this, you know, Alex Ferguson curses the fact that Ryan Giggs is injured recently, Martin. Because I think it's at times when they've been defending and they break so quickly. Giggs was always one of those who had incredible pace to get up there and really test them early. They're just lacking that when they break now.
Overmars. That's a decent try. Poured away by Schmeichel, knocked out of harm's way initially. You could tell from the goalkeeper's reaction, he chased it himself. Good challenge by Dixon. It breaks for Christopher Ray. And it was Patrick Vieira just trying to flick it through to where he hoped maybe an Overmars or a Bergkamp was.
Strange save that from Schmeichel, Martin. It was hit very well. I don't know if it moves in the air.
On from Beckham to Cole. Well, the crowd trying to play its part in the decision-making, but Alan Wilkie saw nothing wrong. Oh, that's a bad mistake by Dixon. He's given it straight to Cole. Sheringham follows up. Manninger makes yet another of these spectacular saves. And Lee Dixon in particular has to offer a vote of thanks. It was his mistake that presented Manchester United with a possession on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area.
Well, that was defensive suicide from Dixon, playing that kind of ball in a game like this across his back four like he did.
And Overmars getting in behind Curtis, and Arsenal look at the referee. Christopher Ray goes to the referee. Curtis on Overmars. Play on, says Alan Wilkie.
It was a tough call. He's got a good look at this. They both go in for it. Can't see from that angle whether or if any contact's made at all. But Arsenal thought there was. United thought there wasn't. But I have to say the referee of all people had a pretty good look at that.
Philip Neville. Header by Cole. Sheringham got there before Keown. Spins away for Philip Neville. Sheringham goes to the near post. Cole behind him. And behind him for Arsenal was Nigel Winterburn.
Well, we should maybe thank Lee Dixon for that pass, Martin. Suddenly the game has picked up a pace. incidents at both ends.
Well, it could have been Sheringham for Manchester United. Manninger kept it out. It could have been penalty for Arsenal, and Alan Wilkie still getting a bit of an earful there from Dennis Bergkamp.
He certainly was being asked the question.
But the most dangerous attacking weapon so far in this game, and we've just passed its first quarter, has undoubtedly been Mark Overmars for Arsenal.
I talked about that battle against John Curtis, and Curtis is quick, but I think we've seen already that Overmars in a straight race might just be just a touch quicker. Certainly it seemed to be the case then, as he just edged in front of Curtis in the race for the ball.
Here.
Well, they both make a race for the ball there. I mean, it didn't look to me as if Curtis got much on the ball.
Well, it was a challenge that could have had calamitous consequences for Curtis. In the sort of position that had a penalty been given, there may well have been a red card to follow. And then the red shirt with number 31 on its back.
Yeah, we talked about a test for two young players, one there, the other one, the Arsenal goalkeeper, and up till now he's certainly stood the test, collected everything crosswise very, very comfortably and confidently. Well, when called upon to make an important save, made it.
And Dixon looked to be late, but again the game goes on. You have to compliment those who made the judgment at Highbury on Alex Manninger. He had a short trial, there were videos watched, as so often is the case these days, but a very raw recruit, really. If it was a gamble, it's certainly paying a very quick return.
This has been bold policy from Arsenal today, Martin. They've come out with a very positive attitude, and the fact that they have gone almost 4-3-3, but 3 up and said, go on then, we'll try and cause you a few problems of our own.
Well, there were some very interesting comments from George Graham in one of the national papers this morning, saying that he thinks this Arsenal team plays better football than his Arsenal team, but have they got it in them to win the trophies?
Well, only time will tell. And I think Alex Ferguson made a very valid point when you talk about teams who chase teams. Sometimes it's easier when you're playing when nothing's expected. Today is all about expectation, fulfilling it. And can they deliver? I think that's the next question.
Well, Philip Neville trying to deliver across then. Manchester United stayed down in the London area after the match at West Ham, travelled back the following day, having had some rest and relaxation. Arsenal, interestingly, took the train up from London yesterday. They'll travel back by bus this afternoon. And anyone who's made a journey by road from south to north on a Friday afternoon, Friday evening knows the potential problems on the M6. They let the train take the strain, and we're very pleased with the service. Here's a situation where Bergkamp not pleased with the challenge by Gary Neville, and nor is Alan Wilkie. It's going to be a booking.
Yeah, it's a booking. I don't think Gary Neville will have any arguments about it. It's just a fraction late coming in. Just looks to play the ball away, and Gary Neville comes in. When you go to ground as a defender, you give away a free kick, it's an almost inevitable yellow card. Well, as I say, half an hour gone, and that's probably only the third or fourth free kick that's been given in this big match.
Winterburn with the free kick. Keown was cleared by Sheringham. Vieira firing it in, deflects off Christopher Wray. Talking about George Graham, well, his team Leeds United in action tomorrow at Pride Park. Two sides there, Derby and Leeds, going for European qualification, they hope. And another big night of boxing coming up on Saturday, March the 28th. Lennox Lewis defends his heavyweight championship against Shannon Briggs, a special event on Sky Box Office. For more information, call 0990 800 888. Phil Neville looking for Cole. Here's Petit. Parlour. Bergkamp trying to make a run off Gary Neville. Pass wasn't good enough for him.
He's just been isolated a little, Andy Cole, Martin, in this first half at times. Just a difficulty in getting real support up with him.
It's noted that he'd been taken off by Alec Ferguson in the last two matches.
Notice Alex has played with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, hasn't he, in that left side, occasionally at home in league matches. I just wonder at half-time, even this early in the match, would he think of making such a change?
Overmars. And that means a problem for Manchester United. Mark Overmars still going!
Well, he's been the threat, hasn't he? How he squeezes his way through there, I'm not so sure. He won't be happy that you talk about double banking, but that's a classic way not to do it. Side by side is not the way, because the gap's in between the defenders, and Overmars just skips straight through. And when full marks to the goalkeeper and Henning Berg here, because once through, they at least get out and put some pressure on him. But it's another half chance for Mark Overmars.
Well, no wonder Arsenal were delighted when Overmars declared himself fit only this morning. Vieira. Petit getting in his way. Arsenal showing no signs of being fazed by the problems of coming here, by the significance of this fixture.
You don't often come into a game, sorry Martin, when both managers, I think, at the end of it, if it stayed this, would be happy. Because I think Manchester United wouldn't be too disappointed with a point. If at the end of this match they're still 9 points ahead, they'll be pretty pleased.
Well, it's Parlour going through, and it's another chance for Arsenal. Dennis Bergkamp put him away.
Not easy to score a goal at Premiership level, but again, it's a lovely, lovely move. And look at the way he drives in. He's got options here, two of them. One's to do that, go for goal. The other's to come across goal and give Ray a chance. He tries to lift it above Schmeichel. He's only fractionally out. We're talking inches rather than anything else.
Well, it was Ray, R-A-Y, who elected to take the chance for himself. Been used for the striker in the centre.
They're growing, Martin, confidence, haven't they, since 10 minutes into the game, Arsenal.
But even in that 10 minutes when, as you rightly pointed out, Manchester United settled the quicker, had more of the ball, they didn't undermine Arsenal's confidence. Overmars. Petit. Just rolls away from Parlour, Sheringham's way. Phil Neville. Got plenty of pace of his own, and maybe trying to show it here against Dixon, who backs off and at least gets in the way of the cross, but Manchester United have a corner. Well, the better opportunities in the opening half an hour, clearly Arsenal's, but it's Manchester United's corner. Petit firmly away. Beckham. Now here's a test for Manninger. Wasn't the strongest punch.
Got away with it. Perhaps, as he'll say, he's deserved a bit of luck for what he's achieved, but that was a real Gary Owen, a real up and under.
Just be having a word with himself. Those who know him well say he's a very big self-critic, gets almost angry if he lets himself down, let alone his teammates.
There's still pretty much action areas in Arsenal's half, but I think Arsene Wenger would be absolutely delighted with the performance of his team in the opening half hour of this match.
Well, that doesn't show too much quantity, but it's the quality of Arsenal that really has caught the eye in their breaks. And Overmars and Keown to be vigilance personified. And here's Curtis. Beckham. John Curtis again. Good enough to slip away from Vieira. Norway has to scamper after the pass. Goes down by Bergkamp. Berg. Scholes. Pressed by Petit. Beckham. His touch not good. Gets it back though. And that's a fine ball for Scholes. Arsenal get around him quickly. That's characteristic of their application. They've lost Beckham. Cole. Got Phil Neville there as well. Cole a bit uncertain, and that, in a way, summing up much of Manchester United's attacking.
They got Beckham in though, Mark, for one of the few times in the central area. They got Beckham free.
And Arsenal are wondering whether Schmeichel was entitled to pick that one up.
And he wasn't, in actual fact. Henning Berg played it back to him.
He's a giant of the game, but I don't think they've changed the laws of the game for him, have they? Won't be for the want of asking, mind you. Here's Petit to Overmars. Wilson coming out of the centre to try and curb the threat. Overmars is playing with real confidence. Ray, as he was tackled by Irwin. Here's Vieira. And, Berg on Bergkamp.
Looked for Bergkamp, Mark. Actually better ball to Dixon, who was making acres of space coming up just on the outside. And we're looking to work it across, and he's looking to just play Bergkamp, but watch Lee Dixon. Starts to make his run, and himself into acres of space. Would have been an easier ball. That's a thing from up here, it's always a lot easier.
Sheringham. In by Phil Neville. They do have two right-footers on their left-hand side, though, Manchester United. Phil Neville and Irwin behind him. Ray. Petit, very much left-footed. Overmars. Curtis in the firing line again, so to speak. Overmars trying to just crash a shot in from the edge of the area. Manchester United put up the barricades.
Christopher Ray made a good run in the back of Overmars, looking just for the ball to be played. Such as the way Overmars is tuned in at the moment. The only thing he's thinking of doing is shooting.
Sheringham. Now Curtis. Prepared to take on Nigel Winterburn, and he's got past him. But the cover was there in the shape of Vieira.
Excellent. I think that's what Petit and Vieira do ever so well, Mark, for this Arsenal side. A decent quality themselves when they're on the ball, but when they don't have it, they don't have to get back and cover play as well.
And that's Bergkamp's pass. And Lee Dixon, a couple of days short of his 34th birthday, still with plenty of fuel in the tank.
Great run, that. Absolutely right. 34 years of age almost. He just made a run and been ignored. A lot of players would think, well, I ain't going again. He was quite happy 2 minutes later to do this. Fly into that big gap. This time Bergkamp does pick him out. Not an awful lot of support. I'll take a corner, I think he said.
Arsenal played well, but they haven't got a goal to show for it. Petit. Schmeichel able to come to the edge of the goal area and get to it and kick, and Andy Cole goes on straight from the goalkeeper's clearance. It's Cole, and Manninger stops Manchester United again.
Well, he's offside. Simple fact is, Mark, they should have been flagged. I'm standing watching the line. I could see what Schmeichel was going to do. And Cole's offside. The ball's played. He's in the Arsenal half. Tries to come back and get in. The linesman allows him to go. And yet again, the young goalkeeper proves his worth. Spreads himself, makes it difficult. Might have been a different matter if it would have been Cole's right side. But he hit the target, Andy Cole. Asked the goalkeeper a question.
Well, you'd think with 22 goals this season, Andy Cole wouldn't be short of confidence in those situations, but the man with the self-belief there was the man who stopped the shot, the young Arsenal goalkeeper, who's here again.
No, I don't think Cole hit that with a man shot on confidence, Mark. I mean, he just hit it with a man hitting it on his weaker side. He hit the target, posed the question, Meninga saved it.
Andy Cole was trying very hard to be in his own half when Schmeichel cleared the ball. That would, of course, made sure that he was onside. That was the decision that the assistant referee had to take into account.
Well, the hardest when the ball travels that sort of, we're talking about a ball travelling 60 yards almost. And that's what makes it difficult for linesmen.
Vieira. Picked off by Dennis Irwin. And encouraged by that. They've been a little unsure of what they've seen from their favourites so far, the Manchester United followers. Here in their masses, of course, and so many of them watching our coverage as Irwin whips it in. Scholes is in there, so too is Beckham, taken on the chest by Petit. Curtis.
A huge scream from the crowd, but not much reaction from the players. As Petit just, I think when they dip their body like that into the ball, I can give that impression of a handball.
You wouldn't be a fan if you didn't shout penalty though, would you?
Of course you wouldn't.
Curtis. 5 minutes or so to go to half-time. It's a fascinating tussle. It was Gary Neville on Christopher Wray. Neville, who has been booked.
Well, the foot was high, there's no doubt about that, and catches Christopher Wray. But this is the one they were shouting at as the ball's played in and Petit goes back to cover. Well, it certainly looks like the arm was out. Certainly looked that way.
Well, it's an interesting move for Andy here that Philip Neville, who's been playing on the left of midfield, has been switched across to right back to deal with Overmars. John Curtis has been moved across to the other side to play ahead of Dennis Irwin.
Well, maybe not only the scores level, but the penalty claims level now as well, Mark. Well, let's just see if we can get a better look at that. Again, it's the left arm. It's a tough call.
Putting his chest at the ball.
Yeah, I think chest, certainly an arm. I'm not so sure where the referee's position was, what kind of look he would have had at that. And it's certainly not on the linesman's side. But that is, and that's a big move, that. I think they're obviously concerned with Overmars. Neville's greater experience here. He said, come on, there's a threat in this side. With a bit more experience to deal with it.
Team forward for Arsenal by Adams in reliable fashion. Petit. Overmars moving infield to get away from Phil Neville.
Space again on the right.
So now John Curtis has to look at Lee Dixon here. And Irwin saw what was coming. Sheringham. Cole. Dennis Irwin's continued his run. Possibly could have just left the ball then. Might have run on. The player who was diving in behind it.
That's what I mean, Arsenal have done well, Mark. They've kept it tight in the middle. And that ball that Sheringham tried to thread, it was never gone through there because all the players were in there. But had it gone wide, you could probably get it easy there. I think what they're saying is, OK, you can have it wide, You can toss it in. We've got Keown, we've got Adams, we've got Manninger. You fancy that either of those three will deal with any cross you get.
Over marks. Phil Neville gets in a good blow, physical and psychological.
I don't think Alex Ferguson will be too disappointed, Mark. I mean, you have to realise the amount of players that are not available to him. We're talking quality and important players. There aren't many teams in the Premiership that can absorb the kind of losses that United are absorbing today.
Petit. Vieira's let it run under his foot to Sheringham. I suppose you can say that Manchester United won't feel that they have to win this. They'd obviously be very concerned if they lost it. But if they were to win, well, you wouldn't be putting too much money on them being caught. Strange things do happen at this stage of the season when the psychology is there. There's tiredness from a hard season's graft. There's another factor as well, Andy, that I don't think's been discussed too often. Goal difference is very much in Manchester United's favour, 36 to 20. Well, even if United started losing and Arsenal winning all the time, that's still a big gap to close, and that's virtually another point to Alex Ferguson. Headed by Henning Berg. I don't think any of you will be surprised about the nature of this first half. Here's Andy Cole picking out David Beckham very well indeed.
Close Beckham. People driving at him at pace. He just tried to pull it past Petit. Stuck the foot out and got lucky.
In comes Petit.
A good hit. I mean, he's the one who broke the attack up a minute ago when he intercepted David Beckham at the edge of his box, got forward, and it struck with power. You can see what he tried to do, outside of the left foot, bend it back in.
So stoppage time at the end of the first half. Hasn't been a goalless draw here this season, incidentally. Mistake by Winterberg. Beckham. Oh, and Cole in the end went for it with his foot. Andy, you're going to tell me he should have dived in with his head?
No, I think this one was above him, Mark. It wasn't ahead of him, it was more or less above him. But this is a combination that's threatened for Manchester United this half. Beckham looking for Cole. He just couldn't reach the ball. But they've threatened on, well, 3 occasions I can think of. They put it right.
So, a goalless first half at Old Trafford. Alex Manninger continues to impress as the stand-in for David Seaman. But Arsenal with Mark Overmars in fine fettle. And claiming here strongly that that was a foul by John Curtis in the penalty area. No penalty given, but Manchester United will feel maybe that was balanced up. Manu Petit chesting the ball maybe down onto an arm. Alex Ferguson raising his arm in appeal. But nothing between the top two after 45 minutes at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0.
So, no goals at half-time. Mark Overmars and Arsenal, you might argue, the most likely, but they've only hit the target once from 9 attempts. United 3 attempts, on target with 2. Gary Neville booked. Possession would be interesting. 51% to United. And look at the action areas lost by Manchester United in the main. Howard Wilkinson is our guest here today. Who's the most happiest at this point then, Howard?
I would think Arsenal. I would have thought if we'd just witnessed the second half, Alex would have been happy with the point.
2 talking points. Maybe the referee will be making headlines tomorrow, and neither of the teams. Was this a penalty, in your opinion?
Yeah, the first shout I had was penalty. I've seen the replays and not changed my mind. But he was a long way off. He's had the first touch, knocked it by him, took
Penalty.
his inside leg, standing leg.
OK. Andy Cole with a great opportunity after he'd broken from the halfway line. First of all, was he on or offside?
He was offside when he kicked the ball. There, look.
Arsenal were absolutely convinced, so was Andy,
Yeah.
and rightly. But having let him go, what then? Perhaps should have done better.
The boy does well. The boy does well, but normally in those situations, you might even come inside and put it across him with his right foot. I think the finishing today has epitomised the game, the pressure in the game. I think there's been one or two hurried decisions when people on another day against lesser opposition in a game that didn't matter so much, so they thought might have just been a bit cooler.
OK, let's have a look at, as half-time approached, the incident at the other end. Was this, in your opinion, a penalty?
No, I don't know.
No?
I would have heard on the no.
Well, Alan Wilkie, referee,
At the time I heard on
he
the
thought
no.
it was high shoulder.
I think it hits him on the chest. But I've seen them give him.
Not to open up an old sore, but do teams coming here struggle to get what you think they should? Are Arsenal likely to feel aggrieved right now?
I think the statistics show that home teams get more penalties, more free kicks than away teams. What that proves, I don't know, but that's a fact. So, on the two there, I would have thought if he was going to give one, it would have been the Arsenal one.
All right, so it's goalless right now. You said Arsene Wenger and Arsenal are happiest. Is there a winner in this game?
At this moment in time, I think if anyone's going to win it, Arsenal are going to win it. The only way I can see Man U scoring is if they pass through them. And at the moment, Arsenal are dealing with that. Whereas Arsenal have got people out there who can win it. Having said that, Overmars, who's caused the trouble, I thought in the last 10, looked as if he was, am I injured or aren't I injured? I don't know. Just an impression I got. So we'll see whether, you know, he plays the full 90 minutes. But Arsenal seem to me to have got the people who can unlock Manchester United. Manchester United, for me, are missing and do miss Ryan Giggs in situations like this.
And it is goalless, beautifully poised at Old Trafford. Still, another 45 of fascinating football to come. Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0.
Thank you, Richard. Manchester United, of course, hoping for a hat-trick of titles, a feat achieved by only 3 clubs before, one of them Arsenal. That was way back in the 1930s. Huddersfield did it first in the 20s, Liverpool the last club to achieve it between 1982 and 1984. Alex Ferguson has brought so much glory to this football club. Manchester United have not made any changes during the half-time break, nor have Arsenal. So John Curtis will start the second half in his newer position, shall we say, in this game on the left of midfield. But the fact that Alex Ferguson had to make a tactical adjustment, emphasising how well the visiting team did in the first half. The second is underway. Over Sheringham. Vieira. Oh, there. Just a couple of yards away to lend the support. It's nicely played between Bergkamp and Vieira. Petit joining in, and here's Overmars. The main threat of the first half. But there's the player switch to try and curb that threat, Phil Neville. And you can tell from the reaction of the crowd how much they were pleased to see Overmars put in his place. is Christopher Wray, who's taken a while in his first season in the English game to make an impact. Irwin. Sheringham. Scholes spreading the play to Philip Neville. Ball stayed in play a lot longer than one anticipated. And maybe Adams and Ronnie Johnson, who were skirmishing there, anticipated.
Well, I just looked at Tony Adams using his experience. Just looked to me as he just edged Ronnie Johnson. Just give him a little nudge to make life difficult as he was reaching the ball.
Wilkie just having a word with Johnson. Maybe it wasn't a one-way conversation. Here comes T and Bergkamp. Overmars exploring an avenue through the centre, looking for support on the right-hand side, and it wasn't there as quick as he would have liked. Palmer might have felt that the pass could have been played with a bit more care for him. Back goes Adams, and Cole's given up the chase.
I thought the latter, no Mark. I thought the support was there. I thought it was a sloppy pass from Overmars. Good situation was building up with Dixon and Parlour.
Certainly this strategy for Arsenal with Overmars not having too many defensive responsibilities suits the natural game of the player on the ball here.
You can get away with that, Mark, if the player that you're giving the license to produces. It has been the major threat in the opening 45 minutes.
Dixon. Cole doing well to get it down to Sheringham. Looks for Cole again, and Keown's quickness and his strength very much in evidence.
He's got good recovery. That's what he's very good at. He's off the mark. He's so quick. And some tall players take a little bit of time to get in their stride. Not Keown.
Henningberg. Scholes. Sheringham was quick initially there, but Martin Keown again recovered very rapidly. Vieira shrugging off Curtis. I just wonder how long Alec Ferguson will persist with John Curtis playing on the left of midfield. He's got Ben Cornley, who is a more natural player in that department, on the bench. He came on and helped Manchester United improve in the second half at West Ham on Wednesday night. Dixon. Winterburn, who'd love to get a goal here after what happened in this fixture last season.
Listen, he's got his career goal already this season.
He beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
Just about this kind of area, just about that kind of distance. Not the same result.
It was a very significant fixture in the Championship race last season, although it was played in the November of that season. Manchester United had lost their 3 previous Premiership games. Heads were a bit down here. It wasn't much of a game, but Nigel Winterburn's diversion of the ball into his own net was vital. And Manchester United then rose back to the top. Ray protesting that he'd been fouled. It's not a game that's been littered with stoppages. Scholes with the pass. Keown's climb, but good anticipation by Curtis, who recognised where that half clearance might drop.
He was just up a little early, Martin Keown, hitting for the header. Because he was on the way down, he couldn't quite get any distance on it. But again, one of the central midfield players for Arsenal spots a bit of danger, cuts out the pass.
Scholes picking out Sheringham. Adams sorting out Sheringham. And here's Parlour. Bergkamp. Ray. striking position for Arsenal then was Petit. With Bergkamp now, but Petit on the way back gets the ball, and Manchester United have to turn and track back. That was Neville didn't get it away directly. Petit's confidence at the back then.
It had to be something special. I think Neville had sussed out exactly what he was going to attempt.
Cole. A bit untidy. It was again a question of maybe attitude from Vieira that Alan Wilkie was assessing.
There's got to be a free kick happening in this. When he goes to ground, he's making sure Andy Cole doesn't get through on it.
Patrick Vieira, a bit like Paul Scholes, is being constantly in trouble this season with this time tackling. Flag has gone up against Bergkamp. Michael allowed to play on. Beckham. Vieira there again. Vieira has problems with Johnson. Petit has problems with Beckham. Johnson goes back again. Adams comes in, but Arsenal haven't cleared the danger. Scholes and Sheringham going for the same ball, and the decision is a corner. Well, we talked about Ben Thornley. Here he is. He's a player who will be more naturally used to playing on the left of four in midfield. John Curtis comes off. There'll be much more to come from Curtis, mark my word. He's a fine, fine prospect. Beckham's corner. And here's Ben Thornley with his first touch.
What an introduction that might have been. Sits up lovely for him. Comes in late, just coming off the bench. Doesn't quite get enough on it. It was a wonder goal if it goes in, but why not? Worth a goal.
It was 4 years ago that we first saw Thornley in Manchester United's first team. By coincidence, it was at West Ham, where he played again on Wednesday as a second-half substitute, but he's had a lot of injury problems in the intervening years. And a lot of other clubs watching developments as to whether Manchester United might let him go. But Ferguson needing the full depth of his current squad.
It'll be interesting to see if they can get him the ball, Mark. Parlour's going to remain tucked in tight. And Thornley just gives United a little bit of width. Can they get him the ball to go at Lee Dixon? And just give him a problem or two.
Petit. Beckham. Arsenal trying to help it on. A bit lucky here, Manchester United. Beckham can get there. Well, Vieira made sure that David Beckham didn't take advantage of that stroke of fortune. And this control by Ronnie Johnson on this attempt at the pass. Here's Paul Scholes. Cole darting into the penalty area. Manninger making light of the cross. Parlour available. Well, we've got a situation, Andy, where both clubs would be reasonably content with the draw. Of course, they'd both be absolutely thrilled to win. They'd both be devastated by a defeat. And 10 minutes of the second half, it's still 0-0. Our action areas showed played with a certain amount of economy in the first half, but when they did attack, they did look more dangerous of the two sides. That really hasn't shown itself so much in the second period as yet.
No, again, like the first half, Mark, Manchester United had the better of the opening 10 minutes.
Both for Adams and Sheringham. Beckham going in again. Picked away by Tony Adams. It's run back here for Cole. Beckham and Sheringham trying to come up with something. Beckham's cross, no one at the far post for Manchester United. Lee Dixon wasn't and couldn't be expected to be aware of that.
Well, Keown's trying to say he helped him. I think Martin Keown did try and give him a little call. But I think in a game like this, you know, you play the thing that you think's safe.
Only coming for the short corner, and Arsenal a bit slow to react. Only gets past Bergkamp, who gets another chance to make the challenge because of the work of Parler. And there's a break on here, and Mark Overmars could give Manchester United a problem. Ronnie Johnson, who is very speedy himself, first to get across. Overmars tries to take him on. Looks to get it back to Bergkamp, but he didn't do it with enough power. And Bergkamp, in truth, didn't look too happy with the challenges that came in, which were fair enough, but were pretty powerful.
That was one of those balls that received a big red X on it, Mark. Hospital ball from Overmars. Trying to play it soft enough so Bergkamp can strike it, but it was that soft it was really giving Phil Neville a chance to really make a tackle.
Here is Bergkamp. I just feel there might be more to come from him in this game. Been on the fringes of it, really. But there's a match winner, if ever there was one.
Just occasionally he's just picked a pass out. He's never looked at a goal threat himself as yet.
He might have been then if Overmars had just played the ball with a bit more warmth. At the end, of course, where he was kicked so extravagantly in the cup tie here against Barnsley. Park. Duty behind Bergkamp again. Beckham, more central, and now losing out as he went left. Dixon, helped by Adams, challenged by Sheringham, but Adams with the sure-footedness of his own. Bergkamp not really appreciating the challenge by Irwin, but the decision is a throw to Arsenal, not a free kick.
No, he never does. I think that's one of the things he shows when he is tackled, when there's contact. He does make it look pretty theatrical, Dennis Bergkamp.
Beckham winning it back for the benefit of Thornley. Here's Sheringham doing well to get it wide as Adams came in to Paul Scholes. Sheringham on for Philip Neville. Arsenal drift back in numbers. Beckham poor to try and find there for Manchester United. Dixon trying to keep it in. We don't need to spell out the level of competition in a match like this, but now it is the level of concentration that's important. We've had an hour, not too much given away. Thornley, Scholes, whether Petit just got a touch on that made it difficult for Paul Scholes to take with the sort of control that he was looking for.
That's just crucial, this touch. Scholes has got that on his chest and his stomach and controlling it comfortably because he sees the flight of the ball. The Petit's touch just altered it enough.
But Manchester United have a corner, and they've got Ronnie Johnson going in. The combined presence of Keown and Adams. I'm sure he didn't get to the flight of the ball in from Beckham. Petit, no way through for Scholes. This is Lee Dixon. having to wait for others to get up in support. Winterburn is one of those. Dixon. Drive by Keown. Winterburn. Over Mars. Ray. It's neatly done. Not a surprise, Manchester United, the direction of the pass there to Vieira. Petit. Lifting it through for Overmars. Out comes Schmeichel, and Mark Overmars, who had a problem plotting where the ball was dropping in the first place.
Great play from Petit. They often say if you can't go through them, around them, there's only one thing left, go over them. Beautifully timed the run. The fact that he's had to almost do 360 degrees costs Overmars, because he loses the ball, loses the flight of the ball. He knows he has to take it early, he knows Schmeichel's coming, and yet again, Overmars is close, but not close enough.
And Arsenal's first real chance of the second half. Underneath Schmeichel's clearance. Bergkamp, Parler's there again. Petit, now Ray. Arsenal claiming that Henning Berg used an arm there illegally. Ray Parler able to turn and attack Manchester United. Bergkamp didn't have as much room in which to move.
Shout from the bench, and that was an interesting one, the Arsenal bench. Come on, Dennis, we need you in the game. And I think that's just confirms what we thought. He's been on the fringes of this game, Bergkamp. We're just looking for a bit more influence from him.
Arsenal trying to hold the line defensively. Press back with the length of Schmeichel's kick and the willing pursuit of it. As we said, that Berg gets the better of Bergkamp. Too often, maybe Arsene Wenger will feel. Irwin. Now Cole. Thornley. Through to Beckham. It doesn't get through to Sheringham, and Bergkamp just rolling it forward invitingly for Parler. Christopher Ray going to the right-hand side, and there's no flag. Parler. Finally challenged by Henning Berg again. Irwin. Can either of these sides just step up a gear in the last 25 minutes of the match? Beckham. That attitude and ambition now. The dreadful fear of what might happen if something goes wrong is, it seems, very much in the player's mind. Scholes. Cole. Johnson. More zip about this Manchester United attack, and Ronnie Johnson, who's not scored a goal in the Premiership, trying to open things up here.
Well, he's got forward more and more, Ronnie Johnson, this second half. Set out, playing, holding position. You see what he's trying to do, he sets it way out, looking to bend it back. Not as far away as it might have looked.
Berg. That's a fine ball by Beckham into the feet of Teddy Sheringham. Thornley. far post. Cole near post. Great play by Ben Thornley. And Paul Scholes, who was beyond both Cole and Sheringham. He was the one who had the sighted goal.
Well, it's the first chance Thornley. I talked about can they get the ball to him. Then could he test Dixon? Well, for about the first time, they got the ball to him 1v1, turns Dixon inside out. That's a great stand-up cross. Scholes can watch it, he's got his eyes on it. He's under pressure from Winterburn, flying into his face. But he's a bit disappointed, not only his manager, but Scholes will be. He didn't quite get it.
Well, the match winner last Wednesday, Christopher Ray, has been taken off by Arsenal, and Nicholas Anelka is on the day of his 19th birthday. Cole. Sheringham sprinting into the centre. Keown there again. But Arsenal haven't cleared it yet. Scholes, that was Petit sliding into good effect. Johnson, blocked by Petit once more. Gary Neville. Sheringham gets it down well. Cole. Dixon's header, then Beckham's header. Thornley, who thought he was blocked then. Just to remind you, it's a double helping from the FA Curling Premiership this weekend, because tomorrow, Super Sunday, derby against Leeds with European ambitions for both of those clubs. Sky Sports 3 at 3. And another big night of boxing on Saturday, March the 28th. Lennox Lewis defends his heavyweight championship against Shannon Briggs. That is a special event on Sky Box Office. And the information line to call, 0990 800 888.
I just wonder what's more important now as we get to this stage in the match, Mark. Is it to win the game or is it not to lose? And I think not losing this for both teams is more important. I just wonder if we'll get to a stage where Arsenal will maybe take what they have, defend a little bit deep, invite pressure. I think United will come forward because that's their nature and they're at home. But it might just be that we get a period in the game of good United pressure.
Michael, sorry Andy, to come across you there, but that was nearly the birthday present for Anelka.
Well, his control's improved since Barnsley anyway.
I wonder what his heart rate's like at the moment, because I felt he was going down that particular avenue again. Vieira, here's Ronnie Johnson. You're quite right in what you say. The nature of Manchester United is to go forward. Hard for players like Paul Scholes here to be thinking about caution and seeing it out for a draw at home, just to keep the closest challenges at arm's length. But here's Thornley. Andy Cole almost in. Ben Thornley has the shot, and he's rather hit across the ball and dragged it beyond Manninger, but always going beyond that post.
Yeah, Cole was almost in the touch there. That's a great tackle from Tony Adams, I think it was. They haven't been caught out often, the two centre-backs at Arsenal.
Well, Ray Parlour, who came off in midweek, who's just a bit short of full match fitness, having come back from an injury. And Remy Gard, who missed a fair portion of the season with a bout of glandular fever. That does take a bit of getting over. A real weakening illness. But he's now back in action, and he's on for Pull. Here's Thornley. Such a good cross from Ben Thornley a minute or two ago that Scholes with a rather weak volley. But on Wednesday, Thornley's weakest point was his crossing, which let his general game down. He fitted in very snugly for the second half at Upton Park, but every cross was off the mark. And Ferguson was frustrated by it because he knew the youngster could do a lot better, as he's shown here today. Here's Thornley's pass for Beckham. Bergkamp. Well, again, it's not happening for him, and he's frustrated because of that. And he looks to take his frustration out on the referee. And he just be a manifestation of what he's feeling about his own personal play. Owen, Cole, and then goes Adams. Petit has had a tremendous game. Overmars, who still looks maybe the most likely match winner. The shot doesn't get very far. Scholes. About Manchester United not being amongst the goals. David Beckham has only scored once at home all season, and that was back in August, 6 months ago. I've asked him about it, and he can't really put his finger on the reason. He's been given some license to roam now.
You can see from the action areas this is a more evenly contested in terms of territory second half.
Berg, Sheringham, now Thornley. Manchester United trying to sustain some pressure. They've got a free kick. Vieira on the substitute Ben Thornley. So Beckham to take the free kick. Manninger to swing up that right arm to Verily here. Great purpose to knock it that far away.
Well, this was better. First half he flapped at one, but this he just swats away. Not a punch, just the flat of the hand, swatting it out the danger area.
Irwin. Just beyond the reach of Johnson. Petit. And Arsenal in this amazingly barren run at Old Trafford. 4 successive defeats in the Premiership, and as has been pointed out several times through the day, not one goal. Here comes Thornley. A little bit of space for Manchester United to break into. Space that's shut down pretty quickly, but that was challenge that's been seen as a foul by Guard.
Yeah, catching him. You're not surprised that the linesman doesn't give it. You can see Ben Thornley when he doesn't get a decision from the linesman, but
it's about the 4th time Ben Thornley's had a word with the official.
But he's been a threat, Mark, hasn't he? On this left side, he's been a threat. They've managed to get the ball to him in the last 7 or 8 minutes, and he's shown a confidence to go at them. Now, is it a cross or is he going to be extravagant, Beckham?
Yes, well, this is a threat. Beckham goes for goal, which he does, but or was he asking for someone to come across the line of it?
He's entitled to expect it. I think that when that's played in head height, you're entitled to have someone go across the keeper.
Well, this is a solo break from Winterburn. There's not much support. Bergkamp is up with the play, but he's on this near side. He's getting into the area now. No Nicholas Anelka in that breakaway. He was hurt in a challenge which also involved Gary Neville, who's out of position, and Anelka looks all right now. The player who scored so spectacularly past Schmeichel at Highbury.
Well, to be fair to Anelka, Mark, he stood with Gary Neville for a long time because he was a bit concerned that he might have been injured. And then suddenly burst into life. But this is a tackle. He launches into, he's the innocent party here. He just gets injured, Gary Neville, basically trying to win the ball. The full marks to Anelka stayed with him for quite some time, and an awful lot of players would have just left him and gone on. That's typified the shooting today. Too many missed target.
And that ball just bounced up a bit awkwardly. And hit it on the rise. Bergkamp, it's Irwin. Beckham covering all parts of the pitch to try and influence get Manchester United's way, but Overmars tracking back well for Arsenal. Crowd agitated that Beckham's pass didn't reach its target. Man of the match, your vote, 0891 111101. A match that's still got 15 minutes or so to run. Adams, over Marks. And he's got Remy Gard making a good run here. And, well, I don't know what Schmeichel might have been expecting there, but I would suspect that maybe the shot wasn't uppermost in his mind, but his arms were uppermost to keep it out.
Took me by surprise. I think the one thing that's missing here, though, Remy Gard, that might have made up his mind was support. I don't think he gets enough support here. No one's really busting a gut to get in and support him. I think he thought, I might as well hit this.
So Phil Neville comes off. On comes Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who's had problems with illness this year. And now we have yet another right back for Manchester United. It's the regular right back, it's Gary Neville. He's got to deal with Overmars. Ronnie Johnson drops into the back line alongside Henning Berg. That won't weaken the defence,
oh no,
in any respect.
No, Beckham's just get the chance now to play inside, play in centrally.
Beckham. Maybe a bit of help there, didn't know where Anelka was coming from. Bergkamp. Vieira, guard outside him again.
Oh, that was a chance going there, he just overran it. As you see, Gard was in acres of space.
Space here for Sheringham. Crowd calling for Manchester United to really play like champions now in the time that remains and take this game by the scruff of its neck. And for many of them, I would believe that Arsenal will be put out of the equation if Manchester United could get a winning goal. That might not be Arsenal's view of things, but of course it would make it extremely tough.
Well, it's just getting a bit stretched again. We get another substitution.
Well, David May was warming up actually before Ronnie Johnson made that challenge with Patrick Vieira. But Johnson off, May, who's done well on his comeback, but Alex Ferguson leaving him out of the starting lineup today because maybe he's a little bit ahead of schedule in terms of playing and behind schedule in terms of sharpness. Easy to say that this game has been all about sparring, but it's not quite been the case. As Andy's pointed out, there have been chances, but the shooting hasn't been really of the quality that you'd expect from the top two. Throughout the game has finally delivered.
Well, Anelka's little touch, two little headers, one for Bergkamp, one from Anelka. They just allow Overmars too much space. No one really picks up that run. And this time, after time and time again, he's not been able to hit the target. Schmeichel spreads himself through the legs. Well, well, well. What a big goal. This is for Arsenal.
Well, the player who has offered more danger than any other in the match. So whatever happens here now over the time that remains, Arsenal have put one hoodoo behind them. Their first goal against Manchester United at Old Trafford since David Rocastle scored in October 1991. And a year earlier, Alex Ferguson had seen his team lose here to Arsenal, who went on to be the champions. That was Arsenal's last win on this ground. But they're 10 minutes away from another one on a huge occasion today.
One or 10 minutes. Hold on to your hats, I would suggest.
Scholes. And Alan Wilkie acts inadvertently as an extra player for Arsenal. Anelka. Bergkamp. A bit short for Remy Gard. Vieira's there again. Anelka. Here's Petit. It's Overmars again. He's got support from Petit. Arsenal with Overmars, I know that they just can't sit back and concentrate on consistent defence here, but there's going to be some defending to do. Solskjaer. Or who'd have believed that the bookmakers closed the book on the championship story. They believed Manchester United were home and dry. Arsenal had other ideas. Manchester United themselves just letting their standards drop in a demanding sequence of matches in differing competitions. And we shouldn't forget that Arsenal is still in the FA Cup. Overmars, David May closest to him. Oh, Nelka was just waiting for the ball to feet.
Yeah, without a doubt. There's no point in Nelka running in offside. He wanted it feet, go and test him. But it's made for that for Arsenal now, Mark, to sit, to keep guard, to keep Vieira, to keep Petit. Just say, go on, we'll have a shield in front of the four and let the other three get on with it again.
Bergkamp, Dixon. Michael scuttling out here. Arsene Wenger, who doesn't show too much emotion, very animated with the Pat Rice alongside him, trying to get the message through. And the nails are being bitten, both sets of supporters really in these circumstances. Forward from Gary Neville. Adams and Keown going for the same ball at left, Thornley coming onto it. No sort of contact really.
They just needed a touch on it to kill Beckham.
Yeah, Beckham's in there against Sheringham too. It was a Petit with another tremendous piece of work. And it's Bergkamp and Nelka trying to accelerate through the centre. And look at the acceleration from the young Frenchman. And Schmeichel stopped Arsenal really sealing it there.
What a chance to kill the game off. What a chance to put this beyond Manchester United that was. Blistering pace and a super ball from Bergkamp.
Gary Neville. And it was a foul by Thornley on Dixon.
They won't be in any rush to take this as well. But Anelka's chance, I mean, it's a great ball from Bergkamp. He knows what he wants to do, just in front of him. The pace, well, it's there for all to see. But yet again, how many times do we see Schmeichel come and do that?
But he couldn't come and do that when Mark Overmars came through for what Arsenal will pray is the winning moment of the match. Well, Mike Ferguson will be looking at that famous watch of his. Petit. Bergkamp so nearly getting Overmars in the clear again. Well, they've got to take the risk, Manchester United, that that's going to happen, and hope that it doesn't come off for Arsenal in the urgency for the home team to push players on. Try to get this goal back. Sheringham. Solskjaer, Sheringham. Goals. These sort of tackles have been there plenty for Arsenal. That was from Guard. Bergkamp ruled to have fallen to the ground by his own wishes then. Alan Wilkie was very, very close. Well, if it stays this way, maybe there won't be too many complaints about that penalty incident in the first half on Overmars, when most of us thought that Curtis had brought him down in the area. The number 0891111101, maybe the player with 11 on his back, Mark Overmars, will be a leading candidate in your minds, but Petit and so many of the Arsenal players have done exactly what Arsene Wenger would have wanted of them, but they haven't got the victory yet. And offside there, he's knocked the ball away, and that has to be a booking. Yellow card for Anelka, bit of time added on as well. There's been no real spell of sustained Manchester United pressure in the match, and that's a real compliment to Arsenal to be able to say that.
Yeah, it is, Martin, but I think we're talking about important people that have been missing. I think Butt and Giggs in a game like this, a huge loss. It's a bit like taking over Mars and Vieira or Petit away from Arsenal.
You mean Seaman and Ian Wright? Yeah. It was Gary Neville.
And we thought sitting on it. That's very, very impressive from Arsenal. 26%. That defensive third of Manchester United.
Gary Neville, the third in line of players to feel the force of Mark Overmars in that particular role in the Manchester United setup. And here's Neville trying to come up with some force of his own. It's a great pass for Andy Cole, and it's swept away for the corner by Keown.
That typifies him today. They haven't let much get past them. There's not been a great deal of threat, but when it's just looked to open up, one or the other of the centre-backs has come across and swept it away.
Here comes the corner from Beckham. And Peter Schmeichel trying to get there. He's still in there, Schmeichel, and he's not in goal, and Bergkamp has got the ball. Schmeichel trying to get to him, and Bergkamp looks for a pass rather than try and drive the ball.
What, Martin? Peter Schmeichel's on the ground holding his hamstring. I tell you what, there could be more problems with that venture forward.
Well, Schmeichel can't get back. And here's Cole. Manchester United are concentrating on getting forward. Andy Cole and Keown, out comes Manninger. And Alan Wilkie has certainly stopped the game.
He's hooked Martin Keown, for, well, I can only assume it's the tackle. This went on for a long way. It'll be interesting to see where it starts, where the free kick is. I think it's there, right on the edge, it's right there as the ball gets played out. It's a good 10-12 yards outside the box, but I think this free kick's going to be taken from. The Keown's yellow card at Hall and Cole back.
Well, I wonder whether it was Keown, Andy, because Tony Adams was in there as well. He was the other player.
Keown, he showed the card to Martin. Now Teddy Sheringham's booked for hauling Lee Dixon to the ground.
And for Sheringham, that is a 5th yellow card of the campaign, and that means a 1-match suspension for him in 2 weeks' time. Well, Michael is in agony.
You mentioned one goal from Beckham, Martin. I think if ever there was a time for this young lad to step forward for Manchester United and do something, then this is it. It's made for him. It's central, it's his area. The wall doesn't look too far back, I have to say.
So David Beckham awaits, and Peter Schmeichel, well, has been an unwanted person on the pitch, which we won't dwell on, which has caused this delay.
Well, we're in stoppage time now. Wall has got back now. Alan Wilkie's managed to get it back 2 or 3 more yards.
Here goes Beckham, and is always going to pass over Manninger's crossbar. And no rescue act here for Manchester United.
No, you can see what he's trying to do. It's that far corner, get it up, get it down. It's not easy.
Well, of course, Schmeichel can't be replaced by Raymond van der Hau, the substitute goalkeeper, because Alex Ferguson has made his 3 permitted changes. Beckham. They're in a deep hole here, Manchester United. as we go deep into stoppage time. Dixon. United winning it back, forward quickly by Becker. Vieira. Time rests with Alan Wilkie. Arsenal fans egging him on to blow the final whistle. The Manchester United fans in silent disbelief. They've had so much success to endure in the Premiership. And Bergkamp trying to skip away from Henning Berg, who indicated to Alan Wilkie that he thought that was a dive. The referee must have felt the same because the game went on. Cole. Irwin. Keown can't get it away the first time, but doesn't panic the second time and picks out Bergkamp. And Arsenal have got a handicapped goalkeeper to try and beat, remember, but they can't get the ball into Overmars. Gary Neville. Oh, Sheringham diverted it. Manninger was committed.
I'm not so sure Neville's shot was going in or hit the target mark. Coming across at an angle. That could have gone anywhere off Teddy Sheringham.
Nelker and David May.
Oh,
Arsenal's so close now.
Appreciates that, Martin. The goalkeeper from David May. He's in absolute agony.
On from Sheringham. Beckham. Scholes trying to come up with something, improvise something at the edge of the penalty area there. Well, the consequences of this in the Championship context very apparent. Don't forget Manchester United have the European quarter-final second leg here against Monaco on Wednesday, and you'd think that Peter Schmeichel is very, very doubtful for that. And if a hamstring is gone, well, how much of the season will he play? Arsenal this season gathers pace. The Championship race is well and truly on again. Arsenal strengthen their challenge with a victory of immense value at Old Trafford. Mark Overmars in the 80th minute to round off most menacing performance from him. Manchester United with other consequences of defeat here. More injuries. Their lead is cut to 6 points. Arsenal still have 3 games in hand. It truly is a great win for the Gunners. Well, they're thrilled. They've still got the FA Cup and that quarter-final replay at West Ham. They'll go there in great heart. They've scored at Old Trafford for the first time in the Premiership. Overmars, the man responsible for that. They've won at Old Trafford for the first time in the Premiership. And what a time to do it, Andy.
It's a magnificent result for Arsenal, Martin. It's a magnificent result when you consider that 3 or 4 weeks ago everyone thought the title race was over. Now the title race is very, very much on. And at the moment, you believe mentally that you can do it. Well, I tell you what, you're halfway there. There's a race on, make no mistake now.
Alex Manninger still unbeaten in his Premiership career. And this is what Arsenal are rid of the prestige of the fixture. But Schmeichel beaten and now struggling and being helped to the dressing room. London challenges in the last 30 years or so. They're involved again. And if there are tears of joy for Arsenal fans, well, there are frowns and anxieties here for Manchester United. It's not what they came in their thousands here hoping to see, but those who are lucky enough from London to get a ticket, well, they're absolutely thrilled. It's finished at Old Trafford, this huge, huge match. Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1.
1-0 to the Arsenal. How significant yet. Well, there's a great afternoon of sport still to come on 3 sports channels. Following us at 1:30, it's Epic. That's how it feels. You've just been done at home by Arsenal. 0891 111101 for man of the match. Keep the calls coming. Howard Wilkinson's thoughts next, and reaction from Old Trafford, where Arsenal have won. Still the cry, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Sounds around Old Trafford. Massive win. Mark Overmars the goal scorer. 24 points from 30 available the run that Arsenal are on. Unbeaten in 10, they've won 7 of those, 6 successive clean sheets. Tremendous form, really is. First half, well, the action areas United had the better of, and the possession. Over 90 minutes, United had more of the ball, but they could not find a way through. Over 55,000 in again. The majority have gone home absolutely devastated by that. Man of the match, Alex Meninga, a contender, has to be, with 25%. Overmars has got it, 25% for Petit as well. Here is the man of the match with George Gavin.
Mark, a great result, a great goal. Do you believe you can win the championship now?
Of course, why not? This match today was very important, because now when we win the other matches, then we are 3 points ahead, and I think it was a good match.
Well, you're 6 points behind, you got 3 games in hand. Does that make you at least joint favourite, do you think?
Not favourite, I think, because we got a few difficult away matches against Blackburn and Liverpool, but yeah, we're going well now, and yeah, it is a great result for us.
Not many people do the double over Manchester United. That must give you great heart, does it?
But you win the Premier League not against Man United, but against all the other teams, a little bit the smaller clubs. So now we're very happy.
You finally got your goal after many chances. Should you also have got a penalty as well?
I'm not quite sure, 50-50, but I had a few good chances and I was a little bit unlucky, and yeah, I think I deserved the goal.
People wrote you off. Did you always believe you could catch Manchester United?
Yes, before you can see it in the first half of the season we lost many points, and Man United keep on winning. And after in the second half, yeah, they lost many points. So it's the same. I had a few times with Ajax, the same like Man United. So
great performance, Mark. You're the calling man of the match. Well played. Great result. The championship goes on.
thanks, Mark.
Natasha Bowman from Muswell Hill wins that replica jersey, so well done, Natasha. At 1-0 Arsenal, Howard Wilkinson, our guest here, and as we were just discussing, Howard, watching that, Arsenal now can actually only lose this now, can't they, this championship race?
Yeah.
What a performance here.
Terrific. After the first quarter of an hour, the result really was never in doubt. Never in doubt. I thought Arsenal had the players who, one-on-one, could turn the game. Manchester United, a lot of possession, puffed and puffed, but really never got behind them. Just the one chance I felt that fell to Andy Cole.
You did say very early that you felt there was only going to be one winner on the day, and that was Arsenal. What were Manchester United missing then in order for that to be the case?
I think what Manchester United missed would be epitomised in Ryan Giggs. Someone who could pick it up, go by somebody, drag somebody to him, you know, play. They were always playing 2v2, 3v3, 4v4. So long as Arsenal stayed on the feet, goal side, track, Petit and Vieira did a terrific job in front of the back four. They were always trying to pick their way through. Arsenal had players, I felt, who could run through.
And did, time and again as it happened.
Yeah,
it wasn't for a lack of goal-scoring chances, was it?
Ironic, really, that Overmars probably had a better first half in terms of the times he got behind them, but made the crucial contribution in the second half.
Number of refereeing decisions at half-time we were left talking about. No goals then. I'm glad it's been sorted out. We don't have to go home talking about decisions that may or may not have been right.
Crucial
what about this
save.
young keeper here, by the way, Alex Meninga?
Crucial save there, crucial save. And to come here, first time here, big crowd, big game. Done nothing wrong, got away with a couple of half mistakes first half where, you know, you could have said he
Just in
flat.
case we've got people with us weren't there at half-time, penalty or not, no?
Not for me.
No. That was a chance as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think he's the sort of player who...
How about that? I think was a question, wasn't it?
Yeah. First time for a long time, I would think, isn't it? That
First goal they've got here in the Premiership. First team, the only other team apart from Chelsea to do the double over Manchester United in the Premiership. and they right now are in the box seat. Simple as that, isn't it?
Crucial now. Next game, I know they've got Monaco in the week, but the next game's crucial for both teams. Both teams.
And what we didn't see there was the injury to Peter Schmeichel, who's been helped off both sides. Big.
That was indicative of how they felt about the game.
No change down the bottom just yet. Jeff Stelling and the Sports Saturday boys coming up to discuss all today's football, of course. That's how we are right now. At the top, the big difference from where we started is that Arsenal have closed the gap. 6 points adrift, they still have 3 games in hand. Let's hear what Arsene Wenger made of it all.
Arsene, are you in the driving seat now?
We have closed the gap between Man United and ourselves, of course, and I think it will make the league interesting for everybody until the end, because now the other teams are in as well.
Would you rather be in your position now or Manchester United's?
I don't know. I feel they have still a small advantage, because we have to take the points with the games we have in hand, and that's not easy because every game is very difficult. But of course, the most important is done. We believe we can do it. I believed it always, but the players believe it again, that they can do it, and other clubs as well. So it makes it exciting for everybody in England now.
Very exciting. You've done the double over Manchester United. Do you believe you were the better team today?
I think so, yes. We had maybe more chances than Man United. We had a solid defensive performance. Both teams, I think, had a little bit lack of sharpness, and because they played many games in the recent weeks. But if you count the chances, I think we deserve the 3 points today.
Congratulations, Arsene.
Thank you very much.
2 weeks back, Manchester United were 12-1 on. Some bookies were actually paying out in the Manchester region. 7-2 now. Arsenal closing all the time, 5-2. And these are the remaining games. Surprising how many times the same clubs crop up there. But Manchester United have played 3 games more, Howard. It's a good question actually from George, isn't it, to Arsene Wenger? Which position would you rather be in now, United's or Arsenal's?
I think Arsene's got to say Manchester United, they've got the points, but deep down, looking at his team, looking at the form, I think he'll be fancying the chances. Fancying the chances strongly, and they're coming from seemingly behind. Everyone will say they're coming from behind.
They're coming with a tremendous run, aren't they? 24 points out of 30 available, unbeaten in 10, 7 wins, 6 successive clean sheets, as we were saying. And Liverpool, away from home, their next big task, perhaps. Liverpool at home for Manchester United. I mean, you know, they're going to have a say, aren't they?
Yeah, Liverpool will fancy their chances as well now. You know, they'll still be in there plugging. But I think Arsenal now, it's just the next game. All he's got to do now is concentrate on the next game. And the form suggests it's championship form. 4 defeats. Form suggests they ain't going to get beat before the end of the season. So it's Manchester United know now that they've got to win every one.
Here's the goal again. Mark Overmars, the scorer. Arsene Wenger said on the balance of the number of chances, Arsenal deserved it. I must say at this stage, Howard, you were beginning to wonder how many more they'd have and not take, and then Overmars pops up with this.
Yeah.
Good finish, wasn't it?
It's a good finish, but you know, you're disappointed there. Full-back shouldn't have been there going for the ball.
Full-back got caught, you think?
Well, no, it wasn't the full-back, but the situation was that the outside fella's gone for the header instead of letting the inside fella go for the header, because whenever it goes wide, it drives you crazy. You sit on the line, you see a wide player go for a header that the centre-half could get. Ball inevitably gets knocked into the hole on the wide side.
Well, we came into this talking about Manchester United's injury problems, and they have had a succession. No Nicky Butt today. Giggs has been a casualty long-term, of course. Peter Schmeichel now, late in the game, has obviously done some serious damage.
Gary
That's a massive blow as well. No Pallister, as you say.
Yeah.
But they'll miss Schmeichel, won't they?
No, I think he's a fantastic presence for them. I do. I think he has a huge influence.
This is how he did it. He'd come up for the corner. Look, watch your eyes on him. Tries to get back, put a tackle in along the way, goes over and has he twisted, pulled, or what's he done there?
I think he's just overextended. Heels come down. Big guy, a lot of weight. Maybe have hyperextended the knee ligament, probably.
What about that situation? You're 1-0 up, 5 minutes to go. It's not lost. It's not a cup tie.
I think
what would you be doing if the goalkeeper
indicative
forward like that?
Indicative of how how much they now feel that they're being threatened, that they are being threatened. Because at the end of the day, 1-0, 5 minutes to go, it's not a cup tie, still some football matches to play, goal difference important.
So you would not have, in that same situation, you would not have wanted to see your keeper there?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right, well, we've appreciated you being with us today, Howard. Good to see you. We'll doubtless see you again before the end of the season. Let's check what we've got coming up on Sky Sports. Sunday midday, it's Charlton and Sunderland. Another big one in the First Division. Sky Sports 3, Sunday midday. And Super Sunday is on Sky Sports 3 tomorrow as well. We're off to Pride Park for Derby County and Leeds United. Well, Manchester United in the box seat 2 weeks back. All of a sudden we have a race. And right now, surely, after winning here today, Arsenal must be favourites. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Goodbye for now.